Hi everyone, I'm Sylvia Arreton and welcome to Guide and Grow TV. In this video, we're going to talk about effective praise. So how to encourage your child rather than using words that can actually damage their self-esteem, such as good girl, good boy, great job. I'll explain. So when we use words such as good girl, great job, good boy, whenever we're using the word good, essentially we're evaluating what the child has done and we're giving them an opinion on whether we think that they've done a good job or not. So essentially we're setting the standards of what we believe to be good or bad and we're imprinting them onto the child. So for example, if a child's done something and we've said, oh, good job, the next time that they do it, they might think, oh, and they don't hear us say good job. They might think, oh, well, was that good enough? Did I do a good job? I didn't hear it. And then this self-doubt comes in. So they tend to then underestimate themselves. They might have this doubt that's in, and they might not be able to meet the standard again of what you thought was a good job. Secondly, it becomes unauthentic. So we get into this habit all the time of just using good everything, good walking, good packing away, good singing, good, everything. I see it all the time. So, and we do it as parents. It's really hard to break that habit of saying great job all the time. But the thing is that once we tend to repeat it over and over again, it becomes unauthentic and not very meaningful. It's more of a habitual thing that we say rather than giving the child some constructive and encouraging words that will build their intrinsic motivation. And I'll get to that after my next point. The third point that I wanted to mention when it comes to praising and using the word good boy, good girl, or great job is that what it does is it tells the child that when they do something, they need to hear this external acknowledgement from somebody external, so somebody else, to make themselves feel good. So essentially, when they do something, instead of encouraging them to have intrinsic motivation, which is basically encouragement that comes from within them, so they feel proud of themselves. They feel like they really did something with so much effort and, and it turned out exactly how they wanted it. They feel proud of themselves. So we need to encourage that rather than constantly saying good job, great job, or good girl, good boy, because then we're telling them that to make themselves feel good, they need to hear this external acknowledgement. And we'll see it all the time. Once a child's gotten into the habit of hearing it all the time, they look for it. So, every time they do something, they kind of, look to us to say, oh, was that good? Did I do a good job? Was that? So they're constantly looking to this external source to make themselves feel good. And that can be quite damaging, especially when they get into their older years and they start growing up. They'll seek to the external to get that sense of acknowledgement and that self-worth. And, we're in a society where it's all about hearing this external acknowledgement and proving yourself and trying to, take from all of those social media outlets to feel good about yourself. But it's really important to build that intrinsic motivation. So how do we actually encourage and build this intrinsic motivation so that children have that self-confidence, self-belief, and self-worth? And we want to do it in a way that's encouraging. And of course, we want to use, those encouraging words and stuff to basically guide our children to build those skills. So what do we do and how do we do it? Firstly, avoid those words such as great job, good girl, and good boy. I know that word good is so habitual, but try to avoid that. Instead, let's use things like, you did it. So one of the biggest things that we use in the classroom all the time is you did it, because that way it's encouraging the child that they did something, but it comes from them. They've done it themselves. So whenever we struggle to find a word to say, instead of saying great job, you just say you did it. Another thing we can use is thank you. So thank you for packing away, thank you for pushing a chair in, or even just describing what you see or describing the effort. So describing what you see looks like this. A child has just put their shoes on. You want to say good boy or good girl. You just look at them and you say, you put your shoes on. You did it by yourself. So the first thing that I said was you put your shoes on, and I've just used tone to encourage, to encourage the child. And the second thing is describing the effort. You put so much effort into putting your shoes on, or, when they're doing a painting, wow, look at all the different colors that you've used, rather than just saying, oh, that's such a beautiful painting. Because the child doesn't really have anywhere to go from there. A beautiful painting, you might actually be lying to the child at the same time, So it's probably better to be really authentic and praise the effort that they're making, because at the end of the day, we want our children to know that it's the effort that matters and not the outcome. So a lot of the time when we're using the word good job, great job, good boy, good girl, we're really focusing on the outcome of what they've done rather than the effort that they've made. And we really want to build children who are, intrinsically motivated. They do something because they are motivated to do it, and they feel good about themselves and they feel proud of themselves. So the next time you go to say something like great job or good girl, good boy, try and hold back and form some new habits around that language that can be a lot more effective to building your child's intrinsic motivation and really encouraging them to be the best that they can be. Until next week, see you later.